History of ice cream. How were they discovered? Let's be honest, ice cream seems simple. You're probably picturing a cone, a scoop, maybe a summer afternoon. But the truth is, that scoop carries centuries of history, from royal courts to wartime aircraft, and science labs to street carts. Ice cream wasn't invented, it evolved, slowly, messily, and across continents. And its story is a lot more complicated and stranger than most people realize. Long before anyone thought to freeze cream, humans were experimenting with cold. In 550 BC, Persians were storing snow in underground domes called yakshals. They mixed it with fruit syrups and honey, one of the earliest recorded frozen desserts,
which could be used to store and even produce ice on site in certain places. These yakchals had a number of different design features, so I'll explain what these features are and how each of them worked for these structures to effectively function for ancient ice storage in a desert climate. The main structure of a yakchal typically featured a 15 to 20 meter tall conical dome-shaped chamber above ground. This covered a large subterranean storage space reaching underground, taking advantage of the consistent temperature below ground level.
The Romans had their version too, snow brought down from mountains and served with flavored syrups. Emperor Nero was said to have runners bring it down by foot. No refrigeration. Just logistics and power. In Japan by the 10th century, aristocrats were shaving blocks of ice to make a dessert called kakigori, sweetened with syrup. It was rare, seasonal, and reserved for the elite. These weren't exactly what we'd call ice cream, but they were the first steps. The real turning point came with chemistry. Middle Eastern scholars discovered that adding salt to ice lowered the temperature. This changed everything. Now you could freeze a liquid, not just chill it. By the 16th century, the Mughal Empire in India was using this method to create kulfi, a dense frozen milk dessert still eaten today. They transported ice from the mountains by horse just to make it happen. Europe learned the technique next. By the late 1600s, the French were freezing flavored creams using a mix of ice and saltpeter. Recipes for frozen orange blossom creams and fruit ices started to show up in cookbooks. Ice cream, or something close to it, was finally possible. In the early days, ice cream wasn't for everyone. Making it required time, labor, access to ice, and a lot of money. In the 17th century, it was served at royal banquets in England and France. Some legends say King Charles I kept it secret from the public. That part's probably not true, but the exclusivity was real. The first English recipe appeared in 1718. It involved tin pots, salt, straw, and patience. Ice cream was an event, a production. And then came the shift. In the early 1800s, ice cream made its way to the US. Thomas Jefferson had a recipe for vanilla. George Washington reportedly spent hundreds on it. But again, this was still elite territory. Then, in 1843, Nancy Johnson, an inventor you've probably never heard of, patented the first hand-cranked ice cream freezer. It made the process faster, smoother, and cheaper. Suddenly, you didn't need a staff of cooks to make it. A few years later, a dairy dealer named Jacob Fussell started mass-producing ice cream in Baltimore. He had excess milk and needed a product. That product became a full-blown industry. Ice cream had officially entered the mainstream. By the 20th century, ice cream was everywhere. Soda fountains, diners, beach stands. In 1904, the ice cream cone showed up at the St. Louis World's Fair. The story goes, a vendor ran out of cups and a nearby waffle seller rolled up a cone. Whether or not that's true, cones took off fast. The sundae came next, a workaround for laws that banned soda sales on Sundays. Ice cream with syrup? No soda. A loophole turned tradition. During World War II, American pilots rigged ice cream makers to their planes. They used the cold air at altitude and propellers to churn it mid-flight. That really happened. Back home, ice cream became a kind of patriotic comfort food. Ice cream isn't a single thing. It's a global category. Italy has gelato, less fat, more flavor. India has kulfi, denser, slower to melt. The Philippines? Cheese ice cream is standard. In the US, chains like Dairy Queen, Ben & Jerry's, and Baskin-Robbins turned ice cream into a commercial empire. What used to be rare became mass-produced, and what used to be luxury became habit. Ice cream isn't just dessert. It's a record of human invention, adaptation, and taste. It's empire, trade, science, and class, all in one scoop. So the next time you open your freezer and grab a pint, remember, that flavor has roots deeper than you think. It's not just frozen cream. It's history. If you found this interesting, subscribe for more videos like this. Deep dives into the unexpected backstories behind everyday things. And let me know in the comments, what's your go-to ice cream flavor? And what's the weirdest one you've tried? See you in the next one.